Tuesday, December 9th, and you're watching the Hammer Daily here on the Hammer Betting Network, presented by FanDuel. I'm your host, Jace Cooper, alongside my producer for the day, Jacob Germania. Behind the boards, little cold in the office. Got to be wearing a toque. My hands are cold. I'm not going to lie. Maybe we can get the heat pumped up in here for a little bit, but we can't do that right now. We'll do that after the show because we got a great show for you today. It's Tuesday. You know what that means. Starting from the bottom, going all the way to the top. Edgework overtime happening, 1 p.m. Eastern time. And I think you're going to want to tune into this because so many messaged me earlier today. He's like, I'm freaking pissed. I am pissed off right now. He is ready to go on a rant. He'll talk a little bit about that and all.
Why?
I wanted to save it. Do you want me to tell you?
No.
I wanted to say. I feel like if the hockey fans out there will know why. It has something to do with his Vancouver Canucks. So
yes.
That's a little bit of a hint there. So money's pissed. He's going to come on. He's going to be coming out the gate hot. I, for one, don't want to be the one to stand in front of so money. So he's the type of guy who scares me when he's angry. So, pretty pissed off. We're going to break through the entire NHL board after so money gets a little pissed off and airs his grievances with so money and Alex. I guess we're just never going to have another guest on that Edgework overtime. But it is what it is.
Supposed to be like rotating guests, new people all the time.
I think Alex just wants to stay on the show. I think that's the biggest thing here. But
he misses his friend so money.
There we go. Bottom to the top. After that, or before that, Geoff is going to come on. Geoff is going to talk a little bit about the Chargers, a little bit about the AFC. He had a beef with me last week. We had Drew on last Tuesday. Drew, unfortunately, is traveling today. Couldn't make it to the show today. Safe travels to him. But we had Drew on. We talked NFC playoff picture. We talked AFC playoff picture. We spent a bunch of time on the AFC, about 10 minutes. We were talking about the Chiefs, talking about the Ravens, talking about the Bills, talking about the Colts, talking about the Jaguars, talking about the Steelers. But we didn't once mention the Los Angeles Chargers. And Geoff messaged me. He's pretty fucking pissed. So you know what, Geoff? You get your time to shine. We're going to talk AFC playoff picture. And you get to talk about the Chargers all you want, who probably might have the 4 seed locked up and will be able to eliminate the Kansas City Chiefs this week if they beat the Kansas City Chiefs from the playoffs. I'm out here talking about Denver Broncos versus Kansas City Chiefs. What are the Chiefs favorite on the road in the second round of in the wild card round of the playoffs? They might not even make the playoffs. Dom is also going to come on. We're going to talk some NHL big picture stuff. Just kind of an update from last time we talked. What the state of the league is in now that we're like 2.5 months into the league, 30% of the way through the NHL season. A lot's been going on here. And then finally, to lead off the show, we have Clive coming on talking NFL team totals. So should be a good show for us today. Before we get into things, just want to quickly give a shout out to our friends over at BetStamp, because with football in full swing and basketball back on the board, now is the time to lock in BetStamp Pro with the BetStamp Pro props screen. Pro is built for high-level bettors who need to spot and scale up edges fast between NFL Sundays, college football Saturdays, and daily NBA action. Prop markets are more liquid and prices are sharper than ever. So the window to exploit inefficient numbers is right now. You can't do that without a hyper-efficient, reliable, true line that shows you the real market price in seconds across 150-plus outs, helping you find and hit scalable edges. Don't wait. The opportunity to capitalize on the prop market is right now. Visit betstamp.com/hammer. Scan the QR code to apply for a demo. Spots are limited during the season. The QR code is up on your screen. betstamp.com/hammer. All right. Let's get into things here. You know him from the Sunday Reset. You know him from our Discord. You know him from Forward Progress. Clive, how's it going today? Oh, is he muted? He might be muted here. We'll fix that on the back end. I think were we 0 for 3 yesterday? Was that on Friday?
No, that was like it was Friday or Thursday.
Friday or Thursday. Oh yeah, and then Kurt came on saying that he watched the entire show and then was also muted.
I think it's on Clive's end.
Okay, we'll be able to figure that out in just a second here. Jacob in the house. Nice from TQ1219. Also chat. I see you guys. If you're commenting along, we can we'll comment along and we'll be reading the comment. Colt the Bolt 21. Is this guy a Colts fan and a Chargers fan? Is that what that is? That is the interesting one. Edgework doesn't need guests. We just need it 5 days a week. Listen, we'll try. Maybe when football season, college football season.
We did do it 5 days a week.
Yeah, and it didn't.
There's a reason it's now 2 days a week. If people were there every day and it was getting big numbers. There's no way it would have been consolidated to this.
Yeah. Even though some people were clamoring for me to be on Edgework, so maybe it was better that it was consolidated to this. Maybe we just do it 5 days a week though, with me. But anyways, yeah, Clive's in the background trying to figure it out right now, and yeah, do we have him? Is he? Let's see.
If he's ready, you can say something. We'll be able to hear him. And then
He can hear us, but we can't hear him. All right, whatever. We can figure it out. A lot to talk about in the NFL this week. I think the biggest thing has to be the Phillip Rivers news, which is, 44 years old, coming out of retirement. How long he's been out of the league for? 2 or 3 years now.
Oh my God, yeah.
It's kind of the craziest thing ever. But I feel like there's a way to attack this in terms of
is that the best available? Like, imagine being like a practice squad quarterback.
That is the Alex Moraine is like one of the best, it's from Blue Mountain State, one of the best jobs in the world. Alex Moraine, backup quarterback, best job in the world. You get all the perks without having to do anything.
Clive's ready, by the way.
All right, Clive's ready. I was going to talk about maybe I'll get his opinion here on the whole Phillip Rivers situation. Clive, first of all, how's it going today?
Good. What's up?
Nothing much. Just excited to get into NFL. Phillip Rivers situation. I feel like the whole idea of the Colts going out and signing Phillip Rivers is like a massive signal that Riley Leonard's probably not playing this week, right? Because why would you go out of your way to grab a guy off the couch? You have Brett Rippon on the practice squad, who, listen, is not very good, but Riley Leonard got banged up last game. He's questionable this week. We don't have practice reports right now. But am I reading too much into the tea leaves here and thinking that Brett Rippon might start this week if one Phillip Rivers comes in and Phillip Rivers is a signal that Riley Leonard's probably not going to play?
No, I think there's got to be significant risk. Granted, this is all speculation, but none of this other stuff makes sense. Like, if you just read action to action to action, like, if Riley Leonard was in any real position to play, I just can't imagine going down this route and even opening that box. You know what I mean? Like, you're really going to say something about Phillip Rivers and pulling up grandpa off the couch? Like, what are we doing? So I figure it has to be something credible and a legitimate threat that Rippon's a very likely case.
Yeah. And I'm wondering about Tyler Warren as well, who's their emergency quarterback. I wonder what was it? What was his name? Oh my gosh. The guy, the Denver player from 4 years ago who was the emergency quarterback who ended up playing a full game. Someone in the chat's going to have to remind me.
I remember the situation.
Yeah.
I don't remember the player.
Anyways, is it Hilton? Something Hilton? Maybe I'm wrong. Anyways, be funny if we end up getting that scenario here, but you have to think they're going out to sign Phillip Rivers to sort of avoid that situation. But yeah, Brett Rippon coming in. I know we're going to talk about team totals today. It's kind of impossible to guess because we have no idea who the quarterback is going to be, because it could fully be Phillip Rivers. But let's say for a fact that Riley Leonard's out. It's going to be Brett Rippon in or Phillip Rivers, who has 3 days to practice. I can't assume he's in fantastic shape. Yeah. He's a dad of 11. He's taking care of his kids, probably focusing less on the gym than doing that and helping his I think his kid is in high school right now. I think he's a senior in high school, his oldest kid. Anyways, it's a grandfather. Team total right now for the Indianapolis Colts is 13.5, minus 122 towards the over. If you have Brett Rippon in as your quarterback, he was terrible when he's played. You're playing against one of the best defenses in the league in the Seattle Seahawks. Is there a little bit of you leaning towards or having some appetite towards the under here?
Yeah, there is. And one more that I'm going to add to our list that we're going to talk today. So I'm glad we brought up this game was the Seattle team total over of 27.5 at FanDuel minus 113 is a bet that I made as well. For a couple of reasons. I think this is fine on its own, but depending on who plays quarterback for Indy, this could be a poor offense, poor quarterback into points situation at some point, maybe a lot of good field position. And Seattle doesn't seem to really take its foot off the neck all that often. So that's another team total that I like. And then, as the week goes on and we figure out and we learn a little bit more, the Colts team total under is something that's in play.
Yeah, over 27.5 feels a little bit light here for this for the Seattle team because they tend to boat race other teams. they seem to get ahead by so many points, and then they rest their starters. But they usually, when they hit the 30s, is when they start to pull guys out. We've seen that before. But like I'm talking about like completely blow them out of the water. We've seen some like we'll call it like not so great stat wise games for Sam Darnold here, but in those situations, we've seen some defensive scores for them as well, or special team scores. So. Listen,
and the Colts have been more and more susceptible to explosive plays in the passing game. Sauce Gardner hurt. Like, there's just a lot of bad, and I think a lot of positive for Seattle in this number. Now, I mean, don't go playing it up to a juiced 28.5 or anything like that. But I think this number is pretty reasonable.
27.5 minus 113 is available at FanDuel. Over 27.5 minus 113, and then I guess you can be a little risky or wait for some more clarity on this Colts team total, but the under 13.5 is minus 104 right now at FanDuel. Let's flip over and talk the Jacksonville Jaguars, who are playing the New York Jets this week. They're at home right now. Their team total is situated around 26.5, and you like their over. Talk us through why you like their over, and it's at minus 128. So over 26.5, minus 128. You like this number. Talk us through why.
Yeah, so a little bit of a similar situation where we don't know who's necessarily playing quarterback for the Jets this week. There is just a lot of what's the right word to use here? One, Jacksonville's been getting a lot more explosives on offense. They've been a lot better with the passing game. Myers has been a help for them. And the Jets are just like a really bad, washed, done team. I don't know how else to really put it. And they are getting beat defensively on both runs and passes, explosive plays. They're just in really, really, really bad shape. And Jacksonville's doing a lot better of, instead of, attempting field goals, more touchdowns. Just think that this is going to be another one of those games where I think this ends up being a big time blowout.
All right, a big-time blowout here for the Jags. And the Jags offense has really been humming as of late. The start of the year really, really just poor offense. But feels like as over the last couple of weeks, they've really sort of come into their own. Maybe that could be a result of like having an easier schedule. And any like indication as to why you feel like the Jaguars have had such a have looked better on offense, I guess is the best way to put it.
In all honesty, a big part of it, I'm just a lot less drops. BTJ in the early part of the year was dropping a lot of balls. Just seeing a little bit more efficiency. Trevor Lawrence is playing better. I'm not seeing like big back-breaking mistakes out of him. And on top of that, like, are the Jets the team that's going to be the one to pull that out of, this offense? This is just a pretty good matchup, and I don't know where the Jets are going to get the stops.
All right. Yeah, the Jets defense still has to like come into their own a little bit over the last little bit, but again, I think this might be too much, especially considering we don't know who's going to be at quarterback. Could be bad news for the Jets. Final team you want to talk about, your best friend on the field. Is it okay if we call him that? Mr. Bo Nix. You have the Green Bay Packers playing the Denver Broncos. You like the Broncos, and you like their team total under of 20.5 at minus 115. This Green Bay defense has really come onto its own lately. Denver Broncos offense, they seem to just consistently put up points, but you like their under here. So talk us through why you like this under 20.5 at minus 115 at FanDuel.
Yeah, and part of this too, I think, Rob and I were talking through this game on Sunday, and he liked the over, which as a whole, it has moved up. I just don't have the same confidence in the Denver side holding up their end of the offensive point scoring. Do you think Green Bay has a good defense, bad defense, average defense? Let's just let's start there.
I think the Green Bay has had a good defense this year.
Yeah, I do too. And I don't think the Broncos are going to get any of that kind of explosive pass rate that they're going to need. Maybe they run the ball effectively. I don't have a lot of faith in that either. Micah Parsons is a pretty good pass rusher, and Bo Nix does have some escapability, and we can talk about Caleb Williams if you want, because I know, he's our favorite quarterback. as a Bears guy, I just don't have a ton of faith in the Broncos doing all of that much offensively against the Packers defense. I don't know that the Broncos offense is better than the Bears, and I think the Bears, I don't want to say they got lucky. That's not the right way to say it. I think the Bears were fortunate in that game that Caleb Williams kind of turned it on in the second half. I can just see Green Bay getting out to a lead and this being trouble for Denver.
Yeah, that's kind of been like what I believe to be the MO of Caleb Williams, where he makes the easy stuff like look really hard, but like he makes the hard stuff look really good. And when he's in these situations where he has to like execute on the harder things, he seems to make it work. So I feel like that's kind of where the comeback kind of sparked itself there. And they should have won that game. He had was it Loveland or Komet at the back of that end zone wide open. He just put just way too light on the ball, and just
he was late on the read. Either he should have ran and taken off, or he should have gotten the ball out of his hands a lot earlier.
Yeah. But again, that's close to winning that game. Close to, almost essentially securing that division. You wanted to talk a little bit about the Bears here after we talked about these team totals, and that's pretty much all we have for the team totals. So quickly, I'll recap it. Denver under 20.5 -115. Jacksonville over 26.5 total points -128, and then Seattle Seahawks over 27.5 -113. What specifically did you want to talk about with the Bears here? Because you said
I just want to bust your balls on Caleb Williams and see what you actually thought. That's really all there is to it. To me, I made this comment to somebody, like elusiveness is not effectiveness. So I think he's made one step forward where last year he took way too many sacks, right? And now he's being elusive. I do think he runs himself into pressure a little bit and is not quite mentally getting the right reads. And I think that fourth down play was a good indicator of that in the end zone, of him not being decisive enough and making the right throw, especially with that play design. But that's one big step forward is the sack avoidance. If he can get a little better in terms of reads, progressions, and his accuracy, like even some of these, like you said, he makes some of the easy stuff look hard. I think there's another step that he could take. I think there's a lot promising about the Bears and a lot to be excited about. I'm just not super excited yet. I like the progression for him, but more to come.
All right.
They're dangerous.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's like they feel like one of those teams who, their record is undeserving. We'll call it that. They probably should be a little bit worse than they currently are, but it seems like they have a real good shot of making the playoffs. And I think they're going to be one of those teams that a lot of people don't expect to be a road dog and upset a team on the road. Whether I don't know who it would be, but if you're are you I don't want to say intimidated, but do you think that sentiment is right for this Bears team?
I think there are going to be some teams that don't want to see the Bears. Mm-hmm. I was excited when it happened. I'm still excited to this day. Ben Johnson was the absolute perfect hire for this team. I'm sure a ton of teams are just absolutely kicking themselves for not putting him at the top of their list. Yeah, he's dangerous. And when you look at the overall state of the NFC, what team other than maybe the Rams and the Seahawks out in the NFC West, everybody else feels like that they have significant flaws. You're not really scared of anybody in the NFC South. They showed that they could play with the Packers. I think they could still play with the Lions as well. So depending on what team they get first, I don't necessarily think it's a one and done. I think they could beat whatever team comes out of the NFC East as well. I think it's just the Rams and the Seahawks kind of in their own level. But I think the Bears are alive to win a playoff game.
Yeah, Bears alive to win the playoff game. I'm just worried about this defense because I feel like at some
they're
point
getting healthier. Oh, well, relatively speaking, obviously to what they were in the beginning of the year.
Yeah, but they just relied so much on the turnover this year. It's been pretty crazy stuff. Anyways, any final thoughts before you head out here, Clive, on week 15? Are you still in survivor pools? I remember you were mentioning that you're axed, eh?
No, we were in a bad position where we really didn't have a good alternative to Tampa this week, and we decided to go that route, and that was an ugly way to lose.
Ugly way to lose. That's all right. Okay, I'll leave the floor with this. Any final thoughts, week 15 of the NFL season, or looking forward to the playoffs? Anything that's on the front of your mind?
No, just I'm looking forward to this Chargers Chiefs game. I might be looking at an under there this week too, for whatever that's worth. And there's a couple of other games that I'm looking at from just a totals perspective. But these games specifically, I think there's a difference in the range of outcomes, which is why I didn't want a full game total. It's these specific teams that I wanted to target.
All right, makes perfect sense. Clive, appreciate you joining the show. We'll chat soon.
All right, see you, Jason.
Awesome stuff there from Clive. You can catch him on the Sunday Reset live Sunday night, right after the Sunday Night Football game, over on the Forward Progress YouTube channel alongside Rob. If you want to get a head start on the next week of the NFL, you're going to want to do it over on the Sunday Reset. They go through every single game and kind of talk about where they feel like the number should be in terms of side and total. They've been pretty good this year. You should go check it out. Even if you're not betting this stuff early, I think it's just a good thing to have at the front of your mind. Good way to start thinking about next week and good way to roll over into the next week of the NFL. We got Dom coming up in just a minute here. Dom Luszczyszyn of The Athletic. Before we do that, just want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors over at FanDuel. The groups are set for the biggest soccer tournament in the world, and FanDuel is getting you ready for all of it. Right now, FanDuel is giving all customers a 30% profit boost on any World Soccer Championship futures bet. We talked a bunch yesterday about some group winners, if you like Colombia to win their group or maybe Colombia to win the World Cup. We talked about it with Drunken Goon. Maybe after this show, you can go check out yesterday's episode, go to the Drunken Goon segment, and pick off any numbers you like there and use your 30% profit boost token on that. So if you've got a team or a star you believe in, now's the time to lock it in. It's always good to get your bets in early while there is still value to be had. And as always, FanDuel's got everything you need. Live odds, fast payouts, and an app that's safe and secure and super easy to use. Don't miss your chance to boost your future. Head to FanDuel Sportsbook to claim your 30% profit boost on the World Soccer Championship futures. FanDuel, play your game, must be 21 plus and present in select states for Kansas and affiliation with Kansas Star Casino, or 18 plus and present in DC, Kentucky, or Wyoming. Opt-in required. Bonus issued is not withdrawable profit boost token. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit rghelp.com/RG. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut. Or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 1-800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts, or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York. All right. Let's get into things. We're going to talk some big picture NHL stuff here with Dom. He writes over at The Athletic, and you know him from Twitter. Dom, how's it going?
It's going great. A lot better than the last time I was here.
I know. I have a question. I don't know if Alex ended up sending you the list of questions that I gave to him, but if not, we're gonna be talking about the Leafers in just a second. But last time we chatted, we talked a little bit about how big the mush of the middle of the NHL is, and I saw a graph on Twitter recently, just about, I think it was over the last 5 years, the point distribution of every single team in the NHL, and this is like the most condensed we've ever seen it. I don't want to say this late into the season, but like whatever, how far we are into the season, 30% of the way, 35% of the way through the season. It's most condensed it's been in the last 5 years. So, I mean, I'm going to ask you an impossible question here. You have an impossible task of ranking every single team every single week in a power ranking form. So we kind of decided that around range, the teams of like the 6 to 8 range all the way down to the 20 and 24 range, they're like a couple points separating from each other. Who do you feel like since last time we chatted have separated themselves from that pack, from whether it be at the top end or the bottom end?
Yeah, so I did get those questions sent, thankfully, because I don't know if I would have been able to remember who was in the middle and who was at the top 10 games ago. But I looked at the standings. Top 5 was Colorado, Carolina, New Jersey, Dallas, Anaheim. Bottom 5, Vancouver, Buffalo, St. Louis, Nashville, Calgary. So I've got some teams that I think have moved from the middle to maybe into those tiers. At the top, I think you have to give a lot of credit to the Washington Capitals right now. They, at the time, seemed to be a very strong 5-on-5 team. The special teams was sort of letting them down. Over the last 10 games, I think they've been a wagon and sort of removing themselves from that mushy middle and maybe not being a contender, but I think they're definitely a dark horse, and they are the next team up after those those top teams, and I have had my doubts about them. I think a lot of people have, but they are I think pulling off one of the most impressive retools we have probably ever seen. I would still put Vegas and Tampa in that contender list, and I don't think they've separated themselves from the middle just yet. Vegas continues to not know what to do in overtime. Tampa Bay is injured and losing, so they lost 4 in a row, I guess, but I think they're still top teams, and I think they've been somewhat better over the last 10, but I don't know, I'd put them in the group still. On the other end, it feels like both Chicago and Seattle are finding their true level. Chicago, despite what their internal metrics say, they're not a good hockey team, and we're seeing that over the last weekend where I don't think I've ever seen a team get stomped back to back that badly as Chicago did. And I think around the same time, I would post in my model, Seattle still bottom 5, and some Kraken fans saying, when is the downfall coming? And I think it's here. They have separated themselves from the middle. I think they're going to be a bottom team.
All right. Looking at a bottom team here for the Seattle Kraken, the cliff is what we're looking at here. Because I've seen your articles. You talked about like the ramp up of young stars, and now we've seen the cliff for older stars. Now we're seeing a cliff for some not older teams. I guess they're newer teams, but yeah. Also, shout out to the Washington Capitals, who I was scratching my head. They made a trade for Justin Sourdif. I think it was like in the offseason. I'm like, who the hell is this guy? You guys gave up a second for him, and like he had like 3 NHL games or like less than like 20 NHL games. I'm like, why would you make this deal? And it's worked out for them, which is shocking. He seems to be like one of the better two-way players in his role in the NHL. So like good for the Capitals. Another reminder that sometimes these GMs do know a little bit more than we do. Anyways, going on a little bit of a tangent here. We talked about the mush. Let's talk about the top. Avalanche right now, they're sitting at 48 points, 29 games. The record for most points in the NHL season is 136 points. FanDuel has that priced at 22-1. We talked about this last week with Alex and So Money. Do you think there's a chance that the Avs break a record? And do you think that they even care about breaking this regular season record?
I don't think they care. I think if they win the cup, then that record becomes more meaningful, where it's sort of like this is the greatest all-time season from start to finish. And maybe in that way, they're trying to show up every day and be arguably the greatest all-time team. So that would be something. I think the goal is still the Stanley Cup, and everything is in preparation towards that. But I do think FanDuel has priced this pretty good. I checked myself, and I'm at plus 20-28. So in the same range of 20-1, 21-1, 22-1. So I feel good. I feel like I know what I'm doing.
All right, so maybe we should be starting to look at that. Again, I think the one we talked about, the biggest thing is the Olympic break and what that effect might have on the team, whether it be like, one, how many players from the Avs are going to go play at the Olympics and get sort of that and not get that two-week, a month-ish break there. I wonder if it's going to benefit teams who are towards the bottom of the standings having that time off, whereas like a lot of good players and good teams are going to have players out and playing through that time. All right, top of the standings to like the bottom of the standings, but like actually no, not the bottom, like a little bit more in the middle. Let's talk about our Leafs. They look hot. I was a little worried for a second there when Joseph Woll got hurt. Still a little worried, but Hildeby, got to give him his flowers. He's been playing pretty well. Offense has found its spark. This team is an endless cycle of it's so over, we're so back, it's so over, we're so back. I got to ask right now, when you were on a couple weeks ago, we were firmly in the it's so over phase. Are we now in the we're so back phase, or are we going to give a little pause to that?
I am getting close. I feel like when I was here last time, it was just perfectly timed at like rock bottom. And I think a lot of it is like hot shooting, hot goaltending, but that's sort of this team's MO, where as long as they're not giving up breakaways all the time, as long as they're doing the things that lead to a higher expected goals percentage versus shot attempt percentage and a higher goals percentage versus expected, I think you're seeing like the peak of Berube puck. One of my big issues, I think 10 games ago, was that they were doing so poorly against like the worst schedule in the league. Like it was they're playing cupcake games and looking terrible. what is encouraging about the last 10 games is they've played some very good teams, and they have held their own and played to their identity and played their strengths. And the goaltending didn't let them down. They weren't giving up breakaway after breakaway. I think the Carolina game especially was, I think, a good barometer of how much things have changed, where in the previous 10-game segment, they gave up, I think, like 100 2-on-1s and breakaways and odd man rushes that game. This most recent one, they played a much cleaner game and they capitalized on their chances. I don't know. I don't think this is a contender. The way they play, I think there'll be better teams that can do more in a 7-game series, but it's a lot more encouraging. And I think this is a playoff team at least, and hopefully they can make the right moves to go up a tier.
Yeah, one of the guys, shockingly, one of those moves that they made early in this season was Troy Stecher, who looks to be like a little bit more of a stabilizer for this team than I think more people would have expected. Have you been sort of quickly on Troy Stecher? Have you been sort of content with how he's played?
I'm amazed by how he's played. Usually when a player is a seventh defenseman or playing on the third pair, I have a tendency to be skeptical of what they're capable of. And Stecher has definitely been one of those guys throughout his career that I just didn't think he had what it took to be an everyday top 4 guy. And somehow, some way, he's playing tough minutes with Jake McCabe. The pair looks good. I think a lot of credit should go to Jake McCabe for doing that with him, doing that with Simon Benoit, and being sort of the rock and least blue line. But Stecher has looked unbelievably like good for who I thought he was. And I think the big thing is has a right shot. I hope when everyone's healthy, it means less Simon Benoit and he gets his maybe rightful place as the Leafs 7th defenseman.
Okay. All right. I like that. I like the way that looks. Going to be going to the Sharks game this Thursday, so it should be a lot of fun. Be able to watch them play live. Let's move on to some trade talk. Quinn Hughes been in the news lately. Do you feel like it makes sense for the Canucks to trade him? Because for me, I know that the Canucks aren't looking too hot this year, but like I just don't see how a trade like this feels like it rarely benefits the team trading away the best player. So do you think that a moving off of Quinn Hughes would make sense for this Canucks team? And who do you think would be the best fit in terms of having the assets to trade for Quinn Hughes and also being able to maximize having Quinn Hughes on their roster?
I think if they're going to do it, they might as well do it now instead of wait a year and lower his value. I think the big thing with Hughes is he has no trade protection and he's got 2 playoff runs on this contract. And I think that makes him a lot more appealing to get a great package. My issue is that I don't believe in the Vancouver Canucks delivering that package as currently run. Like we hear some of the stuff they're talking about roster pieces and still trying to salvage this season. And if you trade Quinn Hughes, I think your goal should be Gavin McKenna and not anything else. So if they're going to do that, they're throwing in the towel. I think that's honestly fine given what they've shown this season, where they just haven't been good enough. And it's a shame because on paper a few years ago, Pettersson, Hughes, Demko seemed like one of the league's better forward defense goalie trifectas. And Pettersson is not the same player he once was. Demko is non-existent because he's so injured, and Hughes is just in another realm wishing he could play with his brothers, I think. And it's really tough, and I feel for the Canucks fan base because this should have ended up better than it has, but I think it's time to let go perhaps and really drive a bidding war, because I think there are a lot of teams who could use Quinn Hughes and have the cap space for Quinn Hughes and probably have the assets to make it happen.
Do you think it makes sense for I think it makes sense for the Vancouver Canucks to want to trade Quinn Hughes to the New Jersey Devils because you could probably get the largest package out of them, because you probably have the most leverage out of any team over them because he wants to play with his brothers. Do you think that the New Jersey Devils, though, it makes the most sense for all parties involved?
I think so, because we all expect that he's going to end up on the Devils in 2 years anyway, or at least in 2 years we're going to find out where Jack Hughes ends up. So it is tricky. We all know they want to play together. I don't know if the Devils have the best or most enticing package, because I think a lot of it is going to hinge on Simon Nemec or Dawson Mercer. And I don't think either of those players move the needle as much as you'd want for the main return of a Quinn Hughes deal. I think Nemec is interesting offensively, but unfortunately extremely uninteresting defensively. He might be one of the worst defensive guys in the league, where if you want him to be a top 4 defenseman and replace Hughes, like you could be getting a Tyson Barrie 2.0 situation or a Keith Yandel, like that kind of dangerous defenseman. Like we're talking like a poor man Morgan's Riley, and that feels like a terrifying thought for a team that is trading the second best defenseman in the league. And even Dawson Mercer, I think he's a bit underrated. I think he does some good things in tough minutes, but he's not, I think, the answer for their 2C problems. And if that's the main piece they're getting back, I think other teams can deliver a bit more. The Detroit Red Wings, I think, have been rumored a lot. They have a lot of prospects, young pieces, picks, all of that. And I think fit-wise as well, the Red Wings seem like the best spot for what Quinn Hughes can do, because they also have Moritz Seider being one of the best defensemen in the league. He can handle the tough minutes. Quinn Hughes in an offensive deployment with some of their stars, I think, can really help that team finally take the next level.
Yeah, it'd be fun for them to take the next step, but like let's cool it a little bit on trading him to the East. Let's leave him out in the West here for our Toronto Maple Leafs.
Well, can the Leafs get a package going?
I don't
like, what would it take?
I don't know. I don't think we have the assets for it, unfortunately. I think I have no idea who we would even trade. Like, you'd have to include Nyes. No, is like, and yeah. Obviously, like, it would make sense to do, but like for me, I just feel like I wouldn't want to do that.
Empty the tank. Next 17 firsts. I don't care, whatever it takes.
Just keep mortgaging more firsts. Just keep going down the line. Who cares? Couple questions in the chat that I want to get to before I let you out here. Somebody asked, what are your thoughts on Schaefer, and is he making the Olympic team?
I think that Schaefer is like, he looks generational. And I think that it's a very difficult thing to say this early on, but he's putting up Ray Bourque production at 18. He is moved up the lineup. He's playing tough minutes now. He's handling them well. He is pushing play at both ends of the ice. He is having an impact stronger than Cale Makar's while being 2 or 3 years younger. The question about Team Canada, though, is a lot more difficult because he's so young, he's so inexperienced, but the fact he's playing tougher minutes lately and doing well in them, I think gives him a much better chance than I would have ever imagined to start the year. I looked into this, I think, a month ago about how he looked against tough comp, and it wasn't the best, but it was progressing and getting better. So I would be interested to see how he's looked since then, and I'd imagine he's looked a bit better in that role.
Yeah, it would be fun to have him on the Team Canada roster when he's 18, because he's definitely going to be there the next time around. Last question here before you head out. I want you to plant a flag here, and I hope I should have left this one off of the list here to kind of catch you off guard, but I sent it to you regardless. Who is winning the Walter Cup this year?
I appreciate you giving me the heads up, because I looked at the FanDuel odds and I don't like them.
Okay.
I don't like I don't like their. I think the Fleet are undefeated right now. They have one of the best goalies in the league, and they're being priced the same as the New York Sirens, who are the most dysfunctional team in that league. So value-wise, I don't mind that, because I think they're a slightly above average team. But the team I'm going to pick is the Montreal Victoire. I don't think you can go wrong with best goalie in the world, best player in the world. I have recently looked into like a PWHL model and sort of rating all the players, and I don't follow the league as closely as I would like to, as much as I should, but I've talked to Haley Salvian, who covers the league for us, and she's looked through and she said it looks pretty solid, and the team strength lines up with the tiers that she started the league with, and I think the Victoire are probably the team to beat in that league, and they're being priced behind the 2 expansion teams, which I don't agree with either.
All right. Montreal Victoire plus 550. It's also crazy to see that the two expansion teams are like the favorites. It's like we knew the expansion went kind of wrong, and then now the odds are sort of dictating it. But yeah, anyways, hopefully I can catch a couple of Toronto Raptors games. Hopefully you can too later on in the year. Dom, appreciate you joining the show. We'll chat soon.
Yeah, anytime.
Awesome stuff there. Go Leafs go. All right, let's this is great stuff there from Dom. Appreciate your questions in the chat. No, I'm not going to ask him about his pressure cooker in the back, Charles. You absolute maniac. I'm not going to ask it. We have him for 15 minutes, and you want me to ask him about his pressure cooker.
Do you have a pressure cooker?
I don't.
Neither do I.
I feel like they could be
Is it
good,
necessary?
though. Maybe. I've heard it's efficient. My family friend of mine is a big pressure cooker guy. He's 20 minutes, can cook anything. I'm like, oh, that's pretty.
I could cook a lot of stuff in 20 minutes.
Yeah, but if you have the oven, you have to preheat the oven.
Yeah, but air fryer. I don't
have an air fryer.
Hey, somebody put me on. I'm happy to expand my cooking knowledge.
Air fryer is just a more efficient oven. That's all an air fryer is.
I thought the same, but I've tested stuff, and the air fry does get a better crisp on it.
Yeah, because it's a more efficient oven because it's a smaller space. Whoever does branding for the air fryer, give that person a raise.
It's
because
a good product.
It's an oven.
There's stuff that you can make in the air fryer, and it performs better than a standard oven.
But it's just this mini oven. It's a desktop mini Easy Bake oven.
In I'm trying to find the right word. In a design sense, yes, but practically it functions slightly differently.
Okay, all right, interesting. I thought it was just it's just a convection oven. That's what
according to the specs it is, but it performs differently.
More efficient, smaller space. There we go. All right, before we get into our next guest here, and honestly, I got to get his take on this because I know Geoff is going to have an opinion on this. Or actually, do we think Geoff cooks at home?
Oof.
Do we think Geoff is a good cook?
I don't know. I can't picture him chefing it up in the kitchen. You know?
Neither do I. Maybe that's kind of mean to say, but I'm curious to find out. Anyways, before we get into Geoff, bring Geoff on. Quick reminder: if you want to fire on Week 15 bets, we've got our Tuesday Best Bet Show, 5 p.m. Eastern Time on the Forward Progress YouTube channel. G-Stack George, Flup, and are we going to get a third mystery guest this week?
Cleve TA.
Cleve TA, third mystery guest. No longer a mystery. Cleve TA. It's going to be on. They're going to give out their 3 favorite bets, talk through every single game on the board. And that's tonight, 5 p.m. Eastern Time, Forward Progress YouTube channel. You don't want to miss this. All right, let's bring him on up. He's a Chargers super fan. He's still a little bit pissed at me for some of the questions I was asking him last night. I hope he listened to my voice note. Geoff, how's it going?
Unmute yourself, Geoff.
Sorry, Jason was telling me to shut up when I wasn't even on the air yet. That's why I just.
He did come.
You came in hot.
You came in hot while Dom was talking. Dom could hear him, but the chat could not hear him.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Okay. I didn't know that. Okay, good.
Send my apologies to Buddy then.
Okay, Buddy. Yeah. Yeah, we will. Sorry. I
got your voice message. I listened to it this morning. It was nice. Sure.
It was nice. Yeah. I was gonna text you mid-game just to let you know that hey, this is not the Brandon Staley Chargers. They're gonna win this game. And they did. What are your immediate reactions post-game? How are you feeling right now? Are you still mad at me that I didn't talk about the Chargers last week when we were talking about AFC playoff picture?
I mean, I was mad that you were. I got annoyed at you because, I like Drew. Drew's a good guest. Drew's got a lot of insight. And you're wasting time about talking about hypothetical Chiefs-Broncos wildcard weekend lines. There's games this week. There's things that actually have a chance of happening. That's what I was like, bro, stop the clock.
Okay.
Stop. Whoa, stop the clock.
All right, I was too deep in the weeds there. I feel like I appreciate that. The constructive criticism does mean a lot for me.
There's a time to do those hypothetical playoff lines, and our boy GRP will take credit for inventing them. Jace, crap. George sent me a picture this morning, or literally not too long ago. He's back at the place we went for lunch.
I saw that.
And it's covered in snow. So it's just reminiscing about our great summer's lunch.
It was that was a good time. I saw that. I got a little bit Is nostalgic the right word? Maybe that's not the right word. But yeah, I saw you sent the
lunch.
picture.
Maybe it made you hungry. But yeah, listen, back to the Bolts. 9-4, but they're deeply flawed. But what I think last night showed me, Jason, is that, well, I've probably said to you since Alt got hurt, that there's just no way this team will like run off like 4 straight games in the postseason. So like the ultimate dream is dead. But after last night, I was like, listen, it's not pretty, but I like between having like a really high end QB and a really good underrated defense, anyone we play would probably be fearful that like in 3 hours we knock them out.
Yeah.
And I don't know that we could win 2 games in a row, like I just said, but I'm telling you, I'm like on a one-off, we could knock out any of those AFC teams except Houston. They Herbert threw 3 interceptions last year for the season and then threw 4 or 5 in the game against Houston. There is no way. Houston would be like last night on steroids for like what Justin Herbert would be. And I hope the Chargers can somehow go on a win another one here and lock in their spot, Jay, where like, I don't mean like seeding, but lock in their spot. I don't care about seeding. And literally take week 17 off when they play Houston.
Because you want to give Justin Herbert a break.
I don't. Yeah,
don't give them the look. You might play him in the playoffs. Don't give them the look.
Not even the look. Houston might Houston might kill. Houston's going to kill Phillip Rivers. I know you don't know movies. Do you know Apollo Creed?
Yes, I know Apollo Creed.
That's what I'm worried is going to happen if Houston plays Indianapolis.
I saw your
and Houston's on the schedule for Indy.
Yeah, I saw your text from to the Forward Progress group chat. You said you're happy that Phillip Rivers is back, but I told my wife I don't think she knows who Will Anderson is because you're scared for him. You're scared for him.
Like there could be a public funeral. That being said, in 2 weeks they play the 49ers. The Colts do on Monday night. I'll come in.
You'll come in.
Yeah. If Dad is chucking, I'll come in for that.
I don't think he's.
I think if he comes in, winning 1 game would be like amazing. My floor is like low.
Okay.
I don't think he can save them. Give me one win would be like magical to me.
Okay, so a couple years ago, we got one of the all-time, I think it was 2 years ago, one of the greatest clips on gambling Twitter history in the Are You Fucking Kidding Me? When Joe Flacco won the Comeback Player of the Year over, who was it, Baker Mayfield, as I think.
Oh, yeah.
George had his biggest position
on. Are you fucking kidding me?
If you get some odds posted for Phillip Rivers on Comeback Player of the Year, would you click?
Well, I would click just for like the content of clicking.
Okay. All right.
Like I would click, like I don't think he could win it, but yes, I would bet it and then post it and then, just be like ride or die gang,
So I'm looking at the Comeback Player of the Year market right now. It's Christian McCaffrey -140, Dak Prescott +110, Aiden Hutchinson 30-1, Trevor Lawrence 50-1, Christian Watson 75. Like
they have odd. Is there an odd?
So I don't think.
Have the boys in the group chat in the Hammer group chat been talking about this?
I'm gonna try. I think we
not even like to actually bet it, like just joking. Like, has anyone seen a number?
So we actually talked about it in the third quarter of the watch along last night, which unfortunately you missed out on, but it's okay. We were talking about it last night. Some people mentioned in the chat saying like do we just click it for the novelty of it if it comes up? So I don't know if they're gonna post it.
I had Flacco 100-1.
Yeah, that was I think we called that back in like Clive TA mentioned that in like week 15.
I didn't even believe it. Like I don't want to say I got bullied into clicking it, but it was one of those things like I don't believe it's gonna happen, but enough people I kind of respect are like doing it, and I started to see the number moving, and I took like, okay, there's 100 available still. And I had a friend who wanted to bet it at like 300-1, and I laughed at him.
Before you saw the 100-1?
Yeah, like this was like even before, 100-1.
Listen, I'm probably gonna click it because it depends on Riley Leonard, but I think maybe Jonathan Taylor being so good takes away.
Hear me out. I actually think it would be to Phillip's benefit to get out of this Hall of Fame cluster of quarterbacks.
What do you mean?
like to reset his clock. like because you got like Ben, Eli, Brady, Brady's not even in his own conversation.
Yeah.
All these guys are going in.
Yeah.
All these guys have firstly, here, I'll say this. If it was like the hall of the super elite, I don't think Philip Rivers should be in. Despite him being my foxhole guy, I'll die for him. Like, he got to go to battle, and Justin Herbert and his toughness, like, you know, I thought, like, I didn't know that we'd ever be foxhole guys together. He was just too athletic. He makes it look too easy in a way Philip made it look so hard. So it's different, but his toughness is making him a foxhole guy. Philip Rivers is not like, if like they had the Hall of Fame that Deion Sanders wants, which is just truly like the truly top tier of Hall of Famers tier, if that makes any sense. Philip Rivers is not in the Hall of Fame. But in this like hall of like really, 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 really very, very good that they've sort of turned it into, he's in. He's going to get in. I don't think it'll be before Roethlisberger or Eli. So I think he should avoid them and just sign the contract.
Yeah. All right. Well, it seems like it's going to happen just from reading the tea leaves.
Pat McAfee says it's happening.
Yeah. Well,
Sorry, I don't want to say he's saying all indications. And listen, McAfee's a bit of a blowhard. I don't even watch the guy. I'll see some like clippable stuff on the internet that I'll watch, like some short form. But I would say we could agree he's pretty plugged into the Colts.
He is pretty plugged into the Colts, but I feel like the wording of his tweet made it seem like it wasn't for sure a sure thing, and I think he just wanted to tweet it.
I don't know what he wanted to say.
Yeah.
Well, listen, McAfee's in the stage now where he's so rich and successful.
He can do whatever he wants.
No one around him is telling him that's like, maybe you shouldn't do that. Like, record a song. Like, he's got, like, there's no one. He needs a friend that he respects enough who can be like, maybe like that's an idea we don't do.
Okay. I like that.
Well,
Jeff,
you don't want to be like overexposed and be like just become annoying.
Yeah, no. You're worried that he might be getting there though.
He might already be there, you know, football between like game day and the rest, like, you know, he's a lot. I'm not like a hater, but I'm not like a fan either of the current iteration.
Sounds like you're a bit like a hater though, and I'm honestly getting scared.
No. I'm a media observer.
Okay, just a media.
I'm interested. Like I'm fascinated by it.
You're a critic, basically. So you're not a hater. You're more so a critic in terms of like you'll give them flowers when they deserve it, but you'll also
like I read
them.
like On Rand, Sports Business Journal, Marchand's articles. You know, Ryan Glass-Steagall. Like I'm into that like element of sports. So like I'm all up in that. So that's where that thought is coming from.
All right, interesting. I'm actually I believe you have like a slight hatred towards.
Also, Bolts plus 4.5 versus the Chiefs. What do you think?
I don't know. I'm always team Bolts. I came into circle back yesterday. I said I like the Chargers tonight. I like the Chargers.
You want to get rid of me, or should I say one more thing?
No, you can go for it. I'm scared right now because like I feel like we should have like an hour-long conversation always, every single week, and I feel like
no. But and I'm not one of these people. Like I learned after losing enough money in college that I don't like bet with my eyeballs. Like rarely.
Okay.
Right? And I don't care about like who wants it more motivation. Right? Like at all. That being said, like the Chiefs for 7 straight years like played in the biggest games. If there's like a team that's just like and I'm not saying they're going to be dead fishes for the rest of the season. They'll probably play great on like Christmas Day. They'll come home strong with like an awesome performance or two. But like just looking at these guys, like, you know, they're done. They like, I don't mean like done, like they can't win next year. I just mean like they've hit a fucking wall.
Yeah. They've
hit a fucking wall. And Jim Harbaugh's going to come to town. And win or lose, he's going to punch you in the mouth. And this sort could feel like the exact same game they've lost or been in for the last month. So Chiefs win by a field goal. Chargers plus 4.5 still gets home.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. I just don't see the like right now market rating has them like around 4.5.
That O-line, man, it might be as worse than the Chargers.
Yeah, they look broken. It looks like the wheels are about to fall off of that.
That's what I mean. Like their O-line is broken at a moment where their season is done. It's one thing if you're like your O-line is broken, but there's like you're in the middle of the season, you're 6-3, and like we've got to hold it together. So that's sort of where my head is at.
For the Chargers. Love
yeah,
it.
that's all.
Listen, I actually want, I'm going to talk to Alex about
and
this.
the Chiefs.
We need like an hour together every week, I think. I think that would make for good TV.
I don't know if I got the time for you.
What are you talking about?
Well, like an hour. Well, we'd have to plan it, but an hour.
Obviously, yeah.
I don't know if I got an hour.
You don't have an hour in your week to talk to me.
Oh, you mean like you want to
like an actual
hang?
show? Yeah.
Oh, a show. I thought you meant like a part of this. Okay, whatever. You talk to the boss.
Yeah, I'll talk to the boss. Maybe
to the boss.
Maybe a little off-season content here. Like that, we'll be the media critiquers. Like we'll criticize media. I like it.
No, I don't. It's
because I'm a positive force and you're a hater.
Did
It's
you
like
watch,
it's a yin yang.
Like even like, did you watch? Like you know how hard I've been on Brady, right?
Yeah.
But like I think he's doing an incredible job calling games.
Yes. Yeah.
Like,
yeah. You've given him his you've given him his flowers.
Like he says, yeah, like he's so there's not a show. There's not a show for me to do talking this.
I think there is. Anyways,
I see Alex's pretty face. That's all.
Okay, all right. I'll let you get out. Before you head out, I want to talk a little bit about like Canadian traditions and like holiday traditions with you. Just any, just kind of like it's almost in that season. Is there any better Canadian tradition than like watching the World Juniors on Boxing Day?
Are you setting me up?
No.
I don't know if I'm being set up here. Listen, you could write a book in media, like what TSN did and the World Juniors. There's like one of the greatest media success stories ever, Jason. I don't give a shit about the tournament. I'll be in Palm Beach where it's not on every channel and bowl games are still on, okay, over Christmas. But they turned a tournament. It was a made-for-TV nothing burger that they turned into Canadiana. So, like, what it is TSN's greatest accomplishment.
So you're like against the tournament then? You don't?
No, I'm not against it. I'm giving them credit. They turned something. They made it from thin fucking air into what it is. It's Christmas Canadiana.
Yeah, it's like a Christmas holiday. It's like a Canadian holiday tradition.
You could write a book on like how great a media venture that one thing has been.
I think it's more Canadian part of Canada than Tim Hortons is. Maybe that's a hot take of mine.
Well, I hate Tim Hortons,
yeah.
But I see you got other people here.
Yeah,
so
but
I'm not doing that now. I'm not doing that.
That's why we need an hour, Jeff, every week. Philip Rivers just signed, by the way.
Like, the thing is, they already put me on the station for an hour a week. They don't want any more. That's enough. Another hour could get someone get in trouble. You're going to get me in trouble.
All right, that's the goal here. Philip Rivers.
Now we're on Tim Hortons. You'd get me in trouble. Big trouble. Rob would.
Don't let Jeff talk.
Philip Rivers
right
just
now.
signed to the practice squad as we proceed to go off the rails here. So
Actually?
Jeff, yes.
So you know what this means? Sorry, I see there's guys here.
No, you're good.
They literally just want him almost as an extra eyes and ears for Riley Leonard. Like he's just such a savant.
I actually
and like Anthony Richardson's going to be the guy pulling up the clipboard to explain to Riley Leonard what just happened.
Yeah.
No.
I don't even know if it's. I think Riley Leonard's not playing this week. I might be completely wrong, but like.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you love the smile. Philip Rivers will start for the Colts from eColt, our official Colts insider. All right.
You think he's starting this week?
That's what eColt said in the chat. I think it's Rippin. I think Rippin is going to be the starter this week. But again, been wrong before. Anyways,
rip.
Jeff, we'll talk behind the scenes about this show. I think there's a lot that can be done.
Look at my face.
You're so happy.
I don't know. I'm like happy. I'm scared. I'm excited. I want one win. One win would be like give me. Oh, the leagues. We're lucky to have him back. Oh my God. I got to share dad with all you guys. I'm out.
All right. Peace, Jeff. Appreciate you. Incredible stuff there from Jeff Rivers. I don't think he's starting. I don't think he's. I want to mark it out on there on this. Can I bet this? Can we bet this?
You could have bet Will Rivers sign up until just now, but
like I didn't. I thought he was.
I just checked. It was at like I think it was like between 45 and 49% that he'll sign like 10 minutes ago. Because I was looking for his odds on comeback player of the year to kind of give you guys that conversation. He's not listed for comeback player of the year anywhere that I was able to find. somebody correct me in chat if you found it. But I checked some spots, some legals. I checked some exchanges. Couldn't find it.
So when you guys, okay, I see the chat saying that he is starting. Yes, he is starting.
It's George.
Yes. Did we announce him as the starter? Did we announce him as if we announce him as the starter?
No announcement.
Okay, so then we don't know who he's starting. To get a guy coming in who hasn't played football in like 2 years, who do we don't even know if he's throwing a football, to just assume he's starting on like 6 days notice is fucking absurd.
Well, Flacco did it. And it is Ripien.
Yeah, okay, fine.
Ripien sucks, dude.
I don't know. I think he's making the comeback to start next week, not this week. Anyways, maybe we got to talk to FanDuel as well about getting a comeback player of the year, mark it up, and that'll be on the guy who's about to join us to do, because I'm going to ask him to do it. Let's bring him on up, Alex. So money. I'm sorry. I said I would let you lead, but Alex, I got to let you lead here. Can you please talk to FanDuel to get Rivers up here for comeback player of the year?
I don't think I need to talk to them. I think they'll just do it.
Okay.
He will get put up.
I think he'll be up there soon.
10 minutes ago, he wasn't an NFL player, so.
Well, yeah.
You got to be faster than that, FanDuel. You got to be faster than that. All right. Let's get into things. Edgework overtime. Wee. Edger's in the chat. Give me the fist. The fist. All right. So money. I've been talking about it all show. You messaged me this morning. You said I'm fucking pissed. I am pissed off right now. I need to get this off my chest. I cannot believe what's going on. You have to let me go first. I'm coming in hot today. So I'll give you the floor. I talked about it with Dom. Quinn Hughes potentially getting traded. He thinks the Red Wings have a good package. He thinks it makes sense for the Devils to trade for him because he wants to go play with his brother. What say you about Quinn Hughes getting traded?
So you're not going to get anything from there. Where was the leadership in that room last year to sit these two idiots down and squash this before it got out of hand? I blame that strictly on the person wearing the C, right? So it annoys me and it irritates me, and I've kept my mouth shut about it, but how he just got the pass. The person wearing the C was able to just skate scot-free here without being held accountable to what his role was in the leadership of that team in that room. He doesn't get a pass from me, right? So at this point now he's talking about he's clearly checked out. You can see he's checked out, and that's okay, right? If he doesn't want to be here, trade him, right? We're just at the point now where there's a lot of apathy in the market, and for me it's gone beyond apathy. You want to get a couple of draft picks for him, whatever, right? At this point, get him out of here, right? And that's what pisses me off, right? So, I mean, yeah, whatever package that we're gonna get, it's not gonna be enough. You talked about it with Dom. It's not gonna be enough. It's never gonna be enough. But maybe, just maybe, we can get some new leadership voices in that dressing room, and from that standpoint, maybe we can have an addition by subtraction there. But I mean at this point I really don't give a shit. I'm done.
Right, you're over it. You just want it over and done with, and it might be best for this Canucks team to, if they decide to do this, just like kind of clean house, just get it out.
I'm just fucking done with the drama, man. Like this was a team last year that had pieces that. I mean, we had JT Miller and Pedersen 1-2 on center. Right? So like we could have had, we could have had pieces here, man. Yeah. It's just, and they let all this like bullshit just derail the whole team.
All right, it's tough. I feel bad for your Canucks. I feel like you're just kind of like the Leafs' little brother, where we both don't experience success. We should be better than we were, and now the era might be coming to an end, and I can relate to that. Quickly sidetrack off of NHL. Philip Rivers is posted for comeback player of the year over on FanDuel, 25-1. If you guys want to go click that, just wanted to let the chat know because we were talking about it the entire show. Hey, so Money, I know you like to talk about futures outside of just puck futures. Any interest at the 25-1? Alex, you any interest here?
5-1. He's going to play what, like 4 games, 5 games, 4 games at most? There's no way. How good does he have to be in 4 games?
Yeah, I think if he plays out and if he plays in all the wins that lead the Colts to the playoffs, I think he will.
They've got a brutal schedule.
Win the comeback player of the year.
Wait, so we're talking about the comeback of the year, right?
Yeah.
Comeback player?
Yeah, comeback player of the year, yeah.
Okay, didn't they change the criteria that it has to be from injury or something?
Yeah, but they don't care.
Oh, I don't know. Rasheed Rice is listed on this. What did he come back from?
Almost killing people. That's what he came back for.
Yeah, so we'll have to look that up because I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure they changed the criteria. And in that case, like, yeah, I'm pretty sure they changed the criteria for a comeback player after the whole thing with last year with Flacco.
Yeah, I mean, McCaffrey, I think McCaffrey probably has this close to locked up. I mean, he's having an insanely good season. Would be OPOY kind of running if it wasn't for JSN
and Jonathan Taylor.
And yeah, somewhat Taylor to a slightly lesser extent. I think he's tailed off a little bit. But who else is up there? Gibbs, I guess, too. But realistically, 25-1, you're playing 4 games, probably winning at most one of them. There's no way. There's just no way. I couldn't possibly see it.
Beginning with the 2024 season, the criteria for the award was changed to emphasize players coming back from illness, physical injury, or other circumstances that led him to miss playing time the previous season.
Yeah, but other circumstances so ambiguous.
Other circumstances are age and family. But I'm sure he's eligible because I think
all my
criteria, yeah.
Sam
on the kids always.
Sam Darnold did receive votes last year, and he didn't come back from anything other than being ass, or if you consider the mono 10 years ago or 6 years ago, whatever that was. But
seeing ghosts, I mean, that's mentally terrifying. Yeah. He was probably a little mentally ill after seeing all those ghosts.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know if the ballot voters respect the new rules of the award, which is just fucking
fair.
It's an insane thing to say. Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy stuff here. Philip Rivers is now 19-1. I think the what is it? The boat has the ship has left the shipyard. Is that the saying? Maybe that's not a saying. I think we've gone too far.
Oh, Connor's right. I just saw Connor in the chat. He's right. I forgot. Rice did tear his ACL last year.
He did.
Yeah, that's right. It was overshadowed from the off-field stuff, but I completely forgot that Rasheed Rice tore his ACL.
Okay,
yeah.
All right. We'll give him credit for that then. Dak Prescott should probably be there over Christian McCaffrey, maybe. The market just got pulled. All right. Too many people with the same thoughts this, and then after this week, watch him not be the starter this week, and he's going to be 200-1.
Rivers is 11-1 now.
Holy all right. This is going to
25-1 didn't last.
This is getting a little crazy now. All right, let's get into things for tonight. How many games do we have today? 12, 10? 10 games? Bunch of games on the NHL board
tonight. Like
that. He's playing Seattle. Holy fuck. Sorry, I'm distracted. All right, let's get focused.
And then San Fran the week after. Focus. San Fran Monday Night Football the week after. So
yeah,
tough.
Geoff said he's going to be in for that. Make sure hold him to that. Hold him to that. All right, Vegas Golden
Maybe
Knights.
That's the comeback player of the year bowl.
Maybe
Rivers against McCaffrey.
Maybe.
So we're gonna have to brand it. Tell Mike.
It's another bowl game during college football bowl season. Vegas Golden Knights taking on the New York Islanders. Let's start with this game here. The Knights minus 142 on the money line. I see the chat is anti. Let's get right into things. Totals at 5.5 minus 118. Alex, I'll let you start. You got anything for us in this game?
Yes, I bet an under in this game. Under 5.5 plus money is still available at select books, and I think that is still good. So I would bet that now. Well, I mean, I talked about the Isles kind of playing better hockey overall lately. Their defensive numbers have been pretty impressive. Offensively, they've kind of fallen off a cliff. I guess that's what happens when Emil Heineman isn't shooting like 40%. He's got, 1 goal in his last 11 games. Like, it's just, there was just natural regression that was going to happen. They're not generating all that much. Vegas is kind of starting to settle into the groove of like Vegas hockey. They had been playing very uncharacteristic hockey for a while. Pretty high event end-to-end stuff. That is not how they want to play, and they have really settled things down quite a bit lately. So decent enough goaltending matchup here. We're getting the Sorokin start, and just two teams that are kind of feeling it defensively right now and not necessarily creating a ton. So like the under here, it has moved, but I think there's still a little bit more room for it to go.
All right, like the under on this one, 5.5 minus 104. So money. You like anything like in this game as well?
No, I don't like anything. I didn't play anything. I don't disagree with Alex with everything he said on the Islander side. The concern for me is more so on the Vegas side of this total that they have for the most part settled in defensively to the way that they needed to play, but their game against the Rangers, even though it stayed under, that game did become uncharacteristically high event for them. So it does give me some pause. I think that for the most part, they are settling in defensively, as Alex said, but I want to see I want to see that Rangers game is going to be an exception for them moving forward, as opposed to them reverting back to their poor defensive play. And the other concern I have, again, it's from the Vegas side as well, is that they're starting to generate more offensively as well. They just haven't been able to score as much. I mean, relatively, they have scored 4-4, 3-3. So like it's not terrible, but I think that they're primed for a breakout. I don't necessarily think it's going to be against the Islanders, but this is a team that I think is going to start going on a run, and I just need to kind of sit back a little bit. And I'm not ready yet to be betting under 5.5 with them.
Okay. All right. Not ready yet, but Alex likes it there. So the under 5.5 in the Vegas Golden Knights New York Islanders game here. Let's skip ahead to the 8:00 slate because we just got some news from little Jordan Mosel in the chat. It says Casey DeSmith is confirmed. So Manny, I'll let you lead with this game. Anything you like with hearing that news of DeSmith confirmed?
No, it doesn't change anything for me. It doesn't change the calculus for me in terms of the pricing that I had. I think that Dallas should be where they are. Mm-hmm. If for whatever reason they get bet down into the low minus 120s, I'll bet them with DeSmith and Ned. But I doubt it's going to get there. Jets, we've talked about it. Alex was the leader of the pack here in terms of fading the Jets, and I don't see anything different with that. Dallas is a team that I do want to bet on. In fact, shout out to Ron for this, but last week I did bet a future. I just want to bring it up here. I bet Dallas to win the President's Trophy, and the reason for that is we touched on Colorado and the way that they've been going. This is not anything against Colorado. I think that they're gonna do what they do, but they also theoretically are going to get to a point where they just don't care about the regular season. They just want to get through to the playoffs. Whereas Dallas has absorbed kind of what Colorado has done to start the season, and last I checked, there were 3 or 4 points behind them in the standings. So I think that, and Dallas is a team that I think that probably would be going for the President's Trophy if they had the opportunity. So I did bet Dallas to win the President's Trophy. I just want to look up and see what the current pricing is before I give my price on it.
Dallas is plus 550.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. So I bet 6-1. So like plus 550 is fine.
All right. Plus 550 is fine here for Dallas. We don't like the game though, even though DeSmith is starting. No opinion there. Dallas is, although you don't like it, minus 120 on the money line. Totals at 6. Alex, is DeSmith a needle mover for you at all? Was that anything you're waiting for, or is this just fine how it is?
I was expecting DeSmith to start. Like I thought it was highly likely just because Ottinger started the last 3 and they're pretty hesitant to go beyond that unless this was like the front end of a back-to-back, then maybe they know that Ottinger's gonna have to start one of them anyway, so start him in the first one. But like generally in this situation, they're going to dismiss. It doesn't change anything for me. I really want to bet an over in this game. We're just not getting the price that I'd want to do it with. And so many talked about how it was the leader of fading Winnipeg. I've talked about that a lot, and I basically made no money off of it, which is the best part of all this because they got some very lucky wins early in the year when I was betting against them, and then their underlying metrics were so bad that the market kind of caught up pretty quickly to them, and they weren't being priced like this wagon. And so we ran out of time to, like, as soon as they started losing, we weren't even getting the prices to really bet against them. So pretty upsetting, but what are you going to do? I would bet against them if it got cheaper on Dallas here. Was thinking maybe we'd get potentially yesterday. I was thinking we'd maybe get Harley back today. And that's obviously not the case. Luszczyszyn, who is day-to-day, is now being confirmed out. He's going to be out for close to a week. So a bit of a cluster of injuries on the back end for them, which also kind of pushes me towards an over here. Dallas has struggled to generate a little bit, but like Winnipeg has been so bad defensively that I don't think Dallas should have an issue here. And even when they don't generate a lot, they're so talented up front that they're able to convert on so many of their chances. That's kind of like one of their calling cards, just elite finishing. And Winnipeg hasn't really been able to hold up their end of the bargain offensively. But again, with the cluster of injuries on the blue line for Dallas, it kind of makes me like, I think this is an over game. And I think I'll end up hating myself for not betting it. But like, you can't force it if you're not getting the price. I just feel like we're going to end up having like a kind of a 4-3, 5-3 type of final here. And I'm going to be like, yeah, I knew it, and just didn't bet it. So it is what it is.
All right. It is what it is. We know apparently we know the outcome, but we decide like,
yes, 100%.
We're not betting it.
You got to be price sensitive, man. It doesn't matter. I don't want the money. I just want my morals.
There we go. I like
stick
that.
to my morals. That's all.
Right. Some of us have ethics. We'll figure that out when we do the hammered decathlon. By the way, did you submit your Survivor picks this week or no?
No, it's too late. I missed the deadline last night. I honestly was so bitter. If for anyone who missed it last night, I got a message from Jason like, "Are you okay?" I'm like on the couch with my wife, we're like watching TV. I wasn't even watching the football game at that point. I was like, it's just like, what the fuck is he talking about? I'm like, yeah, like I'm fine. Like, what do you mean? He's like, you're good? I'm like, yeah, like, am I not supposed to be good? Like, what do you mean? And then, yeah, I'm in a Survivor hockey pool, and how it works is you get 3 strikes. You make 1 pick a week, and you get 3 strikes. There were like 250-ish people in the pool at the start. We're down to like 38. Only one person had no strikes, and that was me. And then there were like 10 people with 1 strike. I was one of those as well because I still have a few entries left. And then I had 1 entry with 2 strikes. So like I had like 3 of like the 35, 38 entries left, and including the leader. And I just forgot I missed the 7 o'clock deadline last night, and I had my picks pretty much ready to go too. I was just kind of in the morning. I was like, I'm gonna like wait and see, make sure there's no other injury stuff or nothing else comes out. And I just waited and got signed. This is the problem with having kids. I was stuck with my kid. I was doing a bunch of stuff. We're doing potty training stuff. I was like on him. I was trying to get him to go, and then bedtime happened. And next thing you know, I'm like exhausted. I'm like, all right, let's just have dinner and sit on the couch. And then I get a worst message of my life from Jason at 9:30 reminding me that I forgot to enter my Survivor picks.
Can I ask what you were going to pick this week?
I was going for my leading entry, my number 1 entry. I was going to pick the Leafs home to San Jose on Thursday. That was because I have not used the Leafs yet. So that was going to be my pick for that entry. I'm still trying to save some of the top teams. And then for my 1 strike entry, I was going to use the Oilers tonight at home to the Sabres on a back-to-back. And then my 2 strike entry, I was going to get a little bit more like, I guess, risky, you could say, because with 2 strikes, you want to kind of take some chances to keep it going. I was going to take the Penguins at home to the Sharks on Saturday.
Okay.
So those are no past posting. None of the games have happened. Those would have been my 3 picks. I desperately hope the Sharks go on a sweet winning run this week so I can rest easier and be like, okay, I would have got strikes anyways. It's good. So go Sharks. Go Sharks.
Do you not lose teams now if you
Yeah, I don't lose teams at least.
Okay, so there you go.
So if those teams lose, so like if the Leafs lose on Thursday, and if the Pens lose, and if the Oilers lose tonight, whatever.
Net positive.
Yeah, I was actually plus EV week because I got strikes anyways, and I didn't end up using the teams up, so not bad. So that's the hope. That's the only thing that can make me feel better right now.
That is crazy to me. I'm not a fan of hockey survivor pools. Anyways, let's get back on track here. This has been an off the rails show. I think that's what you normally get when you get Geoff Fienberg on the network, which I love, by the way. I don't know if you heard my pitch about me and Geoff having a 1 hour show every week. I think that could do some numbers. Let's start with let's move on to the back to 7 o'clock slate. Went from 7 to 8, back to 7. Sharks, aforementioned Sharks you talked about here that you want to fade against the Flyers. Flyers minus 182 on the money line. Totals at 6. Juice towards the under minus 115. Alex, I'll let you start on this one. Anything you like in this game?
Sharks, Flyers. I bet the Flyers at high minus 150s when we got the Nedeljkovic confirmation, because I think that's a significant drop off from Askarov. Didn't like it enough to bet an over, although I certainly wanted to. I thought about it. I thought long and hard about betting an over. I just don't think the Sharks are doing enough offensively right now or creating enough, even though the Flyers are playing some, slightly higher amount games that we're used to seeing. They've been doing that for a while. They're still not kind of big prices that. I just couldn't quite do it with an over. I know Liljegren is also questionable. He would help significantly towards an over just because he plays a lot of their hard minutes, and he's not having like a great season, but like his offensive numbers when he's on the ice are really low, and the defensive numbers are pretty low too. So like he's got a bad expected goal share because he spends a lot of time at his end, but like overall expected goal numbers are very low when he's on the ice. So if he does end up missing, he's a game time decision. That also kind of pushes me a little bit closer to an over, but just we're sitting at 6s with the Flyers. So like I think there's been enough of an adjustment made here.
All right, enough of an adjustment made on the Flyers. So money, you agree?
Not really. This a tough number to be on the Flyers with. San Jose, yeah, their play has dropped off a bit. They did get that win in Carolina, but they didn't look good in that game. I thought that Nedeljkovic was outstanding in that game, and it's also tough to expect at this point in his career, with what we've seen from him, to expect Nedeljkovic to have put together back-to-back solid games too. So there's a lot of things going against the Sharks. I get it, but it's not like the Flyers are playing well either. I thought that they looked okay against Colorado. They did deserve to lose that game, but I thought they looked fine. So, you give a slight edge to Philadelphia because of the way that they're playing and with the drop off to Nedeljkovic. But it's a tough number. So I will pass slightly into San Jose just because of the number. But it's not something that I'm too interested in though.
All right. Another thing we're not interested in. Not many bets so far. Only one bet early on to the show. I guess we've only been through 3
might
games.
be a bit of a theme.
I've got 4.
Unfortunately.
4? Okay. All right. We got a couple more games to get into then. Almost a third of the way through the slate. Let's go to Tampa Bay and Montreal. Montreal, almost favorites, minus 114 at home right now. Close to a pick here. Totals at 6.5, minus 118 towards the under. So money, I'll let you lead on this one. Who you got?
Yeah, so I was disappointed in Tampa Bay last night. I did play them against the Leafs, and they didn't deserve to win that game. So I thought that, and John Cooper talked about it afterwards as well, that he was disappointed in how the Lightning came out. We're in a back-to-back, but that's been reflected in the price. Montreal's been playing well. They didn't get the win against St. Louis, but I thought that was unlucky they didn't get that win. They've been playing well. Tampa Bay, besides last night, they are playing well as well. I did bet Tampa Bay at the plus money. I think that we can still get plus money, but it's just one of those things where I think Tampa Bay is the better team, and also I'm willing to bet on last night's performance being the outlier based on how they've been playing previously. And until Tampa Bay shows me that even with their last 4 losses, I don't really care about those because they've been playing fine. But if they put together a string of games here where they're not playing well, then that's going to give me pause. But right now, I'm not going to punish them too much just based on one game. So we are on Tampa Bay here tonight.
Yeah, Tampa Bay plus money widely available at multiple different outs here, so you're going to want to go scoop that up. Alex, I know you said the theme of today is no bets for you. Do you like the Tampa Bay side here, though?
Not no bets, minimal bets, and I do like Tampa here. Yes. I mean, obviously I'm a Habs fan, and whatever. I like what I saw from them over the weekend. They were pretty dominant against the Leafs. They obviously Hildeby was fantastic to get that game into to overtime and to the shootout. And Montreal came back the next night and played really well against St. Louis and just kind of had like a bad 1 minute stretch where they gave up 2 goals, and Dobish obviously 4 goals on 7 shots early on, like just kind of a rough routing on the back-to-back there. But I like what I saw from them this weekend, but like I'm still really, really high on this Tampa team. I understand the situation, but like still a very professional group. It's a back-to-back, but like Kucherov has also, been off for a week, almost. Point's been out for a while. Like these guys are not like playing so much hockey. They've had a lot of guys kind of in and out of the lineup. Hedman just came back on the weekend. Like I think the back-to-back is a little bit less important for them right now, given how much time a lot of their guys have missed to injury. I'm a little concerned about Halverson getting a start tonight. Don't really know what we can expect there. Goalies are weird, and he doesn't have a great track record, so that could be bad, but this is still an elite Tampa team that I think should be favored in this spot. I mean, you look at where they were like 3 weeks ago. I was talking about in the newsletter how they were like minus 120-ish on the road at Washington with, Johansson in net, no Hedman, no points, like they're no McDonough, like half their, and like, I don't know, this is just too big of an adjustment. They're being penalized for losing a few games, but they're still very, very good, and I don't think there's any reason to change our tune on Tampa right now.
Hashtag wrong team favored. Hashtag wrong team favored. Go scoop up those plus 100s. Little Jordan Mosel in the chat. Blackwood confirmed. Let's flip over to that game then. Colorado and Nashville, minus 205 for Colorado on the road here. Going into Nashville, totals at 6, minus 115 towards the over. Alex, does this Blackwood confirmation change anything for you? Do you like anything in this game?
No, not really. Some Nashville money earlier, which I think is fair. It was a bit high on the Avs. I didn't bet it at all, but I think it is fair. Like just naturally, like you're going to just see, some dips. We talked about like how much can Colorado keep this kind of level up. Nashville's playing a little bit better. They've been competitive, good games against Florida, against Calgary. They were pretty competitive against Carolina. They're looking good, a lot better than they were earlier on. So I can see them being a bit feisty here, but just not something I want to bet. The Blackwood doesn't change anything. Obviously, nice to know he's confirmed. I know Wedgwood's supposed to be back, so I wonder if he's backing up tonight. I think with Minor sent down, I would expect Wedgwood to be back here. Just something to monitor if he's not. If there was a setback, maybe then maybe we get a minor start at one point in the next week. I don't know, but other than that, nothing tonight here, and yeah, nothing on this game.
All right, nothing on this game for you. Theme of the day. So Mane, anything for this game?
Yeah, I do have something here. I bet the under.
Okay.
We know what we're gonna get from Colorado. They're gonna be strong defensively. Also in games like this, so they're on a last game of a trip here, and they're a veteran enough team that I think they're going to understand the kind of situation they're in, which leads me to believe that it's going to be a business-like game here. And when Colorado has been in these spots, and we've seen that this year already, that they just go in, they take care of their business, and they just get the hell out of there. So I think that from that standpoint, we know what we're going to get from Colorado. The concern is, and we've talked about this a ton, that if they want to score the goals, they will. So that's been the concern, and they have been they've been very consistent in terms of their chance generation. It was a little bit low against Philadelphia, but I mean that was a game where not much was happening. So I think that I would expect the same thing against Nashville. On Nashville's side, the concern with Nashville all year has been the goaltending, but I do think that Saros has been turning it around. Now, he did get pulled in the last game, but I'm willing to because of the way that he's been playing, I'm willing to accept that as an outlier as well. And until he shows that, or until we see that he's not fully back or he reverts back to his form that he had a couple of weeks ago, I do want to bet on Saros. So those are the reasons why I did like the 6. I think we can still get a plus money 6 if I'm correct. And I do like the under there.
Yeah, I think there's some plus money 6s out there. I don't see any right now on the board, but my odds screen has like 6.5s up as well. So there might be some plus money 6s on those sites where there's the 6.5s. But it's 6 minus 105 on FanDuel, which is of the currently flash 6s, one of the better prices.
Oh, Harley is back. Harley is back tonight, by the way.
Yeah, Dallas just took off too.
Yeah, I'm betting some as well currently. I just want to interrupt you and your handicap of that thing, but yes, Stars minus 130 still available there too. I'm betting that. So Stars.
Go.
There you go. There's
Stars,
another
Stars.
bet.
There's another bet.
We'll get the
Stars. Let's flip back to the 7:00 slate. Pittsburgh Penguins taking on the Anaheim Ducks. I'll talk through this one, Alex, while you're trying to click away. So, Money, if you're also trying to click away or if you're ready to go, I'll let you lead. 6.5 right now is the total in this game, minus 120. If you got your bets in, give me a thumbs up so I know who to throw to first. All right, Alex, we'll throw to you first. Anaheim, Pittsburgh, what do you got in this game?
So I will say Pittsburgh's a team I've been like rapidly trying to fade at different points throughout this season. And this would be a spot typically where like Ducks plus money in Pittsburgh. Let's go. Ducks team I really like. Penn's team I really don't like. Pittsburgh's playing a lot better again. Like I can't bet against them right now. I'm almost like close to betting. I was close to betting Pittsburgh where it was a little bit earlier when it was closer to a pick 'em. I didn't do it. And now it's run a little bit and now I'm definitely not going to do it. But like Pens are playing some really good hockey right now. They have kind of, I don't know if it's coaching or what, because the roster still is not good, but like at one point you just have to sit back and be like, all right, this team is actually just better than we thought they were. And I still don't think it's a good team, but like they've kind of figured things out a little bit again on that little road trip. They were good. And now Malkin's out week to week, which is a blow, but like they're getting Raquel back. I don't know. It's just, basically, this is a long-winded way of saying Pittsburgh is better than we thought. And I'm starting to concede to that a little bit here. So obviously I still like the Ducks in this situation and under different circumstances, like having a real NHL caliber goaltender back there. But they unfortunately do not have that luxury right now. So not going to get in front of this Pittsburgh money at all and bet these plus money prices. I'm just going to sit this one out. And yeah, overs run a little bit too, which I agree with all the money that's come in sort of on this game. I just haven't bet into it at all myself. So yeah, nothing for me here.
All right, nothing for you in this Anaheim and Pittsburgh game. So Money, you were able to get in on Dallas?
I did. I also have 2 bets in this Anaheim Pittsburgh game.
Lay it on us.
So I did bet the Ducks. We've talked about the Ducks quite a bit. I like this team. I don't think that they're going anywhere. I think the Ducks are going to make the playoffs. And we've seen references to what Quenneville did with those young Blackhawks teams. See a lot of similarities. I don't think they're going to go far in the playoffs, but I think they are going to make the playoffs. And all signs point to us having futures on the Ducks for the Stanley Cup at some point in the next couple of years. But bringing it back to tonight, I like the Ducks. I do agree with what Alex was saying in terms of the way that Pittsburgh has been playing. However, I think that they've been fortunate in a lot of their wins as well. They have been playing well, better than. You know what? I'll change that. I think that they've been playing okay. I thought that they were playing better earlier in the season, but going through their chart here, I think that they were lucky to win in Tampa Bay. Deserved win against Philadelphia, and Dallas was a coin flip, and it ended up being a coin flip in a shootout. So it's not like Pittsburgh has been playing terrible. I think the one difference here too is that a lot of those games were with Jari as well, who has he's recovered quite a bit. He's found a lot of his form, and credit to him. He's had to battle, and I'm going to have a soft spot for the goalies. So all the credit in the world goes to Jari for the battle that he's shown. Shilov is going to get the start tonight, and he has not been as good, and he's especially the last couple of games he struggled quite a bit. You can tell that he's struggling with his positioning. So I do like the goals here. I think that both teams will be fine playing end to end, and I think that at the price with the Ducks in the plus 105 to plus 110 range, I think that at that price there's value on the Ducks here.
All right. Value on the Ducks then. There we go.
So Ducks in the over.
Ducks in the over. Over of 6.5. Minus 120. Best price I can find is minus 114-ish. So that minus 120 is good. And I think the Ducks just moved on FanDuel as well. So look for that. Look for that plus money on the Ducks if you can get it. On the Ducks. Next game, what do we got? We got the Devils and the Senators. Devils and Senators. Senators minus 142 right now on the money line. Totals at 5.5. Minus 112 towards the under. So money, I'll let you start.
This is a real tough one. The Devils, admittedly, I've been slower to adjust to the Devils. With all their issues, I thought mistakenly that they might be able to weather the storm. I was wrong. They look like shit, and their results bear that out as well. Ottawa's struggled the last bit in terms of their results, but I haven't really had a problem with their play. So I think that Ottawa's been playing okay. Ottawa's the better team right now, but it's already reflected in the line here. I think that Ottawa in the mid minus 130s to 140s is where it should be, and that's exactly where we are right now. So I will pass on this game, and this might be rock bottom here in terms of pricing for the Devils, but because I've been slower on them, maybe they have a ways to go. So it's just something that I'm not going to get involved with.
All right, we're stepping off this one, and I hear you in the background agreeing. Alex, you fully agree with this one? From the
yes, I agree with what he's saying, where this is probably rock bottom for the Devils in terms of pricing, and yet I can't get myself to bet them. It just hasn't been pretty from them at all. I made a bad bet on them on Saturday. I wish I could take that one back, but it is what it is. Sens, I do think, are going to struggle a little bit here for the next bit without Pinto. That's a big loss for them. He's been really, really good. Like one of their best, if not maybe their best player, at least up front to start the season. So that's a huge loss for them. It's going to really hurt them offensively. And Zub is back here too, which kind of bolsters their back end. So like it makes me want to kind of bet an under, but again, like we're sitting at such a fair range at these 5.5s, like just barely shaded to the over. So I think we're fine where we are, and I agree that I'm also not going to be betting this game.
All right, no bet on this one. Alex only has one bet for today. It's the Dallas Stars. Chasing the Dallas.
Under in Vegas.
Under in Vegas. Just happened to be the first game. My bad. All right.
Give me a little credit, just a little bit. I also bet the Flyers, okay, but it's just run too far now, so we can't officially give it out.
It's all right.
And Tampa. Wait, what are we doing here? Come on, man. It's like, geez. Oh
no. Those are so many bets that you just piggybacked off of.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Columbus, Carolina. Just a great overall team. Minus 205 right now at home. Totals at 6.5, minus 114 towards the under. Alex, give us a bet in this one, or else like I don't know. It's just we're right about you. You're just not giving anything out.
I will feed into your narrative here a little bit, and yeah, I lean strongly towards an under here, and like. It's something that I might end up betting at one point, but I think it's closer to fair. I just haven't seen it fully from Carolina, but like I don't trust Columbus unders fully. They've been trending to be a little bit more of an under team lately, but like there's still just potential for those games to go off the rails, and especially a matchup against Carolina, where Carolina likes to kind of get after it and push the tempo. This could have sneaky chaos potential. So that's enough to have kept me off of it. But I definitely have a strong lean, I'd say, to the under here.
All right, strong lean towards the under, but no official play. So, Money, do you want to take that lean and turn it into a play, or do you want to pass?
Yeah, this one we're gonna pass on. I do agree with Alex. Columbus, I may have been higher than I should have been on them. I think that their play has dipped significantly, and it's not just been recently with these last couple of losses. I think it's been like that for the last at least the last couple of weeks here, probably into a month. So and this is something that is concerning to me long term on a team that I did like quite a bit. So until they show me that they can start turning it around, I won't be getting behind them right now. And even with the pricing, I think that Carolina should be priced like this right now, and it's not something that I can get involved with.
All right, we're stepping away from this game, not getting involved with it. Let's move on. 2 more games left on the slate. Boston Bruins, St. Louis Blues. Blues minus 125 on the money line. Totals at 5.5, minus 122 towards the over. So, Money, I'll let you lead on this one. Anything you like in this game?
Yeah, so I did bet the Bruins. I think that we need to acknowledge and accept, as a hockey community as a whole, that the Bruins are not going anywhere this year. I think that this is a team that, from the outset, that they showed that they are feisty. We were high on them compared to the market going into the season, but unfortunately, I wasn't able to take full advantage of it in the way that I should have. I'm not making that mistake when I see these kind of prices against a St. Louis team that has not been playing well, even though they've won their last couple of games. They've been fortunate to win those games. And if you're going to give me a price like this on the Bruins, I'm not going to let go of that opportunity. So Bruins are good. I like them at anything plus money, in fact, because I do think that the Bruins are, even on the road here, I think that they are significantly better than this Blues team.
All right. Not betting anything here, though, right?
Bruins. We're on the Bruins.
Bruins. Plus money here, plus 104. Yeah. Alex, do you agree with the Bruins here?
Is it just tagging on to so money if I do, or do I get credited with my own bet if I do? Because I need to know. Because if I don't get credit with it, there's no point in me, taking blame if it loses later. So I might as well just pass it.
We'll give you credit for this one. We'll give you credit for this.
Okay, all right. Yes, I bet the Bruins as well. Especially on the news of Pasternak likely being back as a game time decision. I don't think you're leading stretch at skate and wearing a regular jersey and being a full participant if you're not going to play. I think there's maybe a little bit of gamesmanship going on there. I'm sure they just are calling him game time because they want to see how he responds to morning skate and make sure he doesn't have like some sort of setback after being a full go. I can't imagine he doesn't play tonight though. McAvoy was also back in a regular jersey, which is crazy. He's not going to be playing tonight, obviously, but like he's very, very close. It sounds like he's going to be playing on this 3-game road trip. So yeah, I talked about this in the newsletter yesterday. I'm sure Jason didn't read my part of the newsletter.
I usually skip that part.
He doesn't. Yeah, I know. So for sure, I don't blame you. But yeah, I talked about yesterday in the newsletter how I think it's time to maybe just give in here and just admit, like, all right, the Bruins are going to do what they do at this point. Maybe it's time to just stop throwing in the towel and trying to fade them every chance we get. Tough spot for the Blues here too, in that, first game back from a road trip, always a little bit of maybe a lackluster effort you see from teams in this kind of spot. Now missing Kyrou, obviously already without like Snuggerud and Toropchenko and like all the guys they don't have up front. It kind of thins out in a hurry now. You're looking at like a second line of, off the top of my head, I don't have the whole thing, but like basically like Dvorsky's there, like Pius Suter is there. Like it's not good. Like their forward group gets bad quickly, and that's what's keeping me off and over. I know last week when these two teams played in Boston, I bet an over because the Bruins had been playing some really high event hockey and didn't deserve that like 5.5. But now we're shaded more towards an over, and we have Swayman in net, not Korpisalo, and then we also have the injuries up front for the Blues. So that's kind of just to explain like why I'm not betting it over again there. But yeah, I like the Bruins. Like this is just a mix of fading St. Louis in what I think is a bad spot for an injured team, and buying a Bruins team that just has the swagger, is getting healthier, and just keeps finding a way. So it has run a little bit since we bet it, but I still, like so many said, I still think there's a little bit of room to run.
Yeah, you can get like a plus 112 out there, plus 110-ish, plus 104 on FanDuel, a relatively sharp number. And yeah, last game on the board, we got Buffalo and Edmonton. Do us a favor before we do that, smash the like button. Goes a long way for us here on the channel. Before we get into this game as well, do you think it would be interesting if I were to count a single grain of rice for every like we get in a given week on a Tuesday or Thursday Edward show? Is that like interesting to people? Do you think that's interesting? Somebody, would you watch that content or no?
Watch you counting rice?
Yeah.
No.
To get people to like or subscribe. No.
I would like to see you. Jacob will just like hide a grain of rice somewhere in the studio there, and you have to basically like
find it,
look for it.
Okay.
That's cool. That's cool. I can get behind that.
I'd be so bored. I would give up after 5 minutes and just go home.
No, you can't. You have like if there's like 60 likes, you have 60 minutes to do it, and if you don't do it, you lose.
What do I lose?
You give up after that. Pride. I don't know.
All right. Off the rails. Chosen Sports is going to get mad at me in the chat. Buffalo, Edmonton, last game on the board. Edmonton minus 205 right now on the money line. Totals at 6.5, minus 110. Both sides. Who wants to start here? Alex, I'll let you start in case you have a bet on this one, so you don't just tail so money's bets. What do you have here?
I don't, because we're seeing this is like I'm excited to kind of pay attention to this game. I'd say watch it, but I have my own hockey game tonight, which should be riveting if people want to watch that instead. But yeah,
what's the live barn link?
Yeah, I'm sure we'll get it posted in the comment section later. So I'm excited to see this game because I think we're starting to notice a little bit of a change now with Edmonton. They're playing better. Maybe like, is this going to signal their turnaround, the start of their turnaround? Like they kind of do every year. We'll find out. I'm not even close to saying that we are yet. I want to see it for like at least 2 weeks, 5-6 games before I'm willing to buy into it. We're also seeing this streaky Buffalo team that started so poorly and then came back and started playing really well again, and then went into the gutter and are now playing good again. So like they've been competitive of late. They're playing some pretty good hockey, have been deserving of more results than they've gotten. So two teams that are playing better, and I really wanted to monitor kind of if that's sustainable going forward. And if so, then, maybe we'll start betting on them a little bit here, but nothing at least for tonight.
All right. Nothing for you tonight. So money. Finish it off here.
All right. So just hear me out here. Hear me out. Okay. So I know that I'm probably the biggest Stuart Skinner apologist in the world. I get that. I fully concede that. He's been playing better. And the team in front of him has been playing better too. For the most part, the Oilers are turning it around defensively, which is nice to see. You look at the results. They have a 6-2 game, they have a 9-4 game, they have an 8-3 game, and those are just in the last 5. I get it, right? But with that being said, they still have been better defensively, probably because they've set the bar so low this year. So I do think that that's going to continue. I think that that's a conscious thing that this team has kind of acknowledged that they do need to play better defensively. On Buffalo's part, they seem to alternate bad defensive games with good defensive games, and that should be expected for a young team that's still trying to figure it out. They're coming off a 7-4 loss to Calgary last night, where they look like shit defensively. So I think that they are going to bounce back defensively in terms of, and again, it's all relative. When I say they're going to bounce back defensively, I don't mean that they're going to bounce back to Colorado's level defensively. I mean that they're going to be a little bit higher than their standard that they've set this year, which is admittedly very low. But you look at the total here, we're at 6.5. So if you think that this game is going to go over, where would you line this total? Right now, there's some money coming in on the over, which is fine. I do like the under here. I haven't bet it yet, but I will be betting it. Probably just when this rush of over money finishes hitting the market. If we can get a plus money under 6.5, that's where I will be betting it. We're seeing it go being pushed over right now, so I will just wait it out a little bit. But in the next maybe 10-15 minutes here, when this is all done, there's like significant over money coming in, so like we will get our plus money 6.5. So just wait it out, and then we will and I will be betting the under in this game.
Yeah, I already see a 102 available there, so it's coming. It's very, very close here. Very, very close here. And, yeah, good stuff. That wraps it up for today. Recap, I think I missed some here. But Buffalo, Edmonton, under 6.5. We're waiting for 8+ money. Boston Bruins, plus money on the money line. Anaheim, Pittsburgh, plus money on the Ducks is what we're looking for. I think it was plus one. What was it? Plus 105-ish is what we looked for there. Plus money on the Ducks over 6.5 minus 120. Dallas money line was it minus 130? Dallas money line minus 130. Colorado, Nashville under 6 minus 104. Tampa Bay, we're looking for the plus 100s if you can grab them. And then Vegas in New York under 5.5 minus 104. Did I miss anything there?
Flyers for me if it comes back to.
That's not an official play. That's not an official play, man. What the heck?
Fair enough.
What?
Fair enough. We'll leave it.
We'll leave it. Tell me the Ducks play this Thursday, by the way, because I forgot to wear my jersey again.
Tell you right now.
They do. All right.
They play the Islanders.
All right. As much as I love your guys' faces, I'm going to have to let you guys loose, but I will see you guys right here Thursday in a couple days, and I will be wearing my Ducks jersey. I can promise you that.
Sounds good.
All right. Awesome stuff here, guys. Chat soon. See ya.
Thanks, guys.
Good stuff from the Edgework crew. Love it all around. And my God, what a crazy day it has been. I just want to peek on the comeback player of the year market. Is this even listed or is it off the board? It's off the board for me on the comeback player of the year market. So
last time I checked, it was plus 1,100.
Jesus. All right. Interesting stuff here. Also, it seems like you can go out and get Will Phillip Rivers start a game? It's at 20%. You can go predict that if you want to over on some.
He's starting, man.
So you really think so?
You ain't signing him just to sit there. He can sit at home.
They need a quarterback. They physically need to roster a quarterback.
They rostered Phillip Rivers.
Yeah,
he's gonna start.
I don't know if he's gonna start. If they thought that Brett Rippon wasn't a quarterback who can start for them, I don't think they would have him on their practice squad. I feel like that just doesn't make any sense to me.
If they thought Rippon could start for them, they wouldn't have signed Phillip fucking Rivers.
No, but Anthony Richardson is out. Daniel Jones is out. Riley Leonard is out. They lost 3 quarterbacks. Brett Rippon was there. I don't think they would have held on to Brett Rippon if they believed that Brett Rippon in this scenario wouldn't be the guy to start for them.
I just don't think they would have. I think they would have thought they wouldn't be getting here. If Rippon was going to start, they would sign someone off a practice squad to back him up. Phillip Rivers isn't putting his 400 kids behind, leaving his 400 kids behind to go stand on the bench for a team he doesn't really care about.
So obviously very small liquidity on this, but yeah.
Not after E-Colt gets in there.
I mean, wait, there's actually like Rivers to start. Yeah, you can get. Yeah. Anyways, I will. E-Colt is messaging me right now. He's saying I'll give you 70%. No, you can go do it yourself. I've been through this enough already. I already got a 10-1 price on him not to start the next game. Not even not to start the game, but not to start the next game. Anyways, appreciate you guys tuning in the chat. Do us a huge favor before we sign off. Smash the like button. Goes a long way for us here on the channel. If you're new to the channel as well, hit the subscribe button. If you're watching on Twitter, come over to YouTube. You can watch us here on YouTube. If you don't want to watch on YouTube, that's fine. Just double check, make sure you're subscribed. And while you're here, you're double checking, making sure you're subscribed. Hit the like button. Goes a long way. And to let us know that you did both of those things. Like, let's say I asked you to do this last show and you did it. Hit the retweet button or hit the like button on Twitter. That also helps us too. Plenty of ways you can help us and support the show. That's about it. Excited to talk to Mr. Peanut Butter tomorrow. Excited to talk to Kirk Evans tomorrow. It's the Pavia show. More like the Pavia No show tomorrow. Should be a fun one. But yeah, that wraps it up for us here today. This has been the Tuesday, December 9th edition of the Hammer Daily here on the Hammer Betting Network, presented by FanDuel. We will see you guys right here tomorrow.